Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I haven't done a bona fide thrift haul video in a very long time. And that is with good reason. I haven't been thrifting, or certainly really curtailed that, deliberately drove past favorite haunts, and so on, beginning in late 2024. And I was all prepared to sort of, like maybe take a victory lap about that, see if I could impress you with my resolve and my determination. That has changed. I did score some items at 2 or 3 auctions, as well as quite a large purchase at one of those places that sells things by the pound. And I think even most traditional thrift stores, once or twice a year, I can think of one particularly in Fort Saskatchewan that at least twice a year has a bag sale. And I know other stores do as well. So it's a case of being aware of when that happens and capitalizing on it. So I'm not going to babble on much longer. I will tell you that that this part of this video will be a mixed bag of things. And I will leave the beautiful fabric acquisitions to its own video. Now, when I buy fabric, it's my practice to wash and iron it. Number one, I don't want to work with something that may have a funky smell to it, nor would I ever want to sell or give anything to you that is a wee bit off. So I think, well, my third load is in the dryer as we speak. I hope you can't hear the dryer balls. And then, of course, I have all the ironing to do. Now, because I was so eager, let me put this aside for a minute. Because I was so eager to begin deconstructing some of the pieces, I was doing that last night for a few hours as I watched some videos. Now, I didn't even, because, we were away in Denver, I haven't watched any videos. I was like the virtual, mushroom, didn't know what the heck was going on. However, I see that Cara Brandon has a month-long thing, and some of my friends are included in, are doing videos in support of that. And of course, I went down the decluttering rabbit hole. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you know that I was doing a lot of that on my own in December, after I was sort of all done with Christmas and so on. So now, normally I would never put fabric or things that can get snagged in a basket, but this one is smooth, so I hope I didn't make a tactical error. But this is just a fraction of what I have set aside. So you can see there is going to be some glitter and glitz in my in this upcoming year as well, in 2025. So I'm just going to set this aside for now. I'll probably show you some actual ideas with using these things as when I get caught up on my laundry. Okay. So this is a very attractive box. Now, this is open, so I don't know how well I'll be able to repurpose it from that perspective, but this was part of an auction purchase, auction lot. Here's an origami dragon. I, of course, was interested in the papers because you know I'm short of paper, like really, really short of paper. So there are some, and I guess what I like about these pieces of paper is that they're not so Asian in their look, in their aesthetic. So I will add these to where I keep my 6x6s. This box also has this book in it. Now, my grandson is pretty good at origami, so I don't know. I'll probably just give this book to him next time I see him. This stuff is pretty complicated, but he's got that great hand-eye coordination from millions of Lego kits that he's done. I have to say, the gift we gave him for Christmas was so gigantic. What is the problem here? Oh, it was a boat that ends up being 28 inches wide, and it floats. So you think his mom didn't have to fill the bathtub so he could float his boat? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I said I wouldn't be showing fabric, but these itty bitty pieces, now this was bundled together as quilt fabric. I didn't wash these tiny little pieces. I mean, they're all, you know, they're not from, they're yard goods. They're not, no one has ever worn them. Now there's quite a bit of this flannel. Now, of course, this is our hockey team. So I will try to do something, you know, maybe that ends up, again, going to a grandson. So there's a fair bit of that. What else have we got here? Now this is sort of tone-on-tone black. These pieces are kind of a nice size. You could actually make a journal, a smaller journal cover, you know, with them. 4x6. So I'll probably put this with my black and white journal just because it fits. Now, my inclination is always to do things by color. Here's another piece of the same thing. I would be tempted. Now this is also like a flannel. Not so sure about that one. But I would be tempted both in the way I sort things and in the way I use things to group together colorways. Now, of course, some of these pieces are quite a bit smaller, so, you know, how, in fact, I use them is subject to, I guess, a final decision. I love this particular pattern, and there are a number of pieces there. I'm not sure why anyone would buy toilet paper fabric, but hey, if my word in 2025 is risk, maybe this finds its way into an art journal. Oh, here's more Oilers fabric, but it is like a cotton. Okay, so that's it for blues, I guess. Then there are, more blue. Sorry, I shouldn't really be taking time to do this, but if I'm showing you, I might as well kill two birds with one stone. Okay, so then there are these that are, does that make your eye, does this make your eyes go funny or what? This is not a pure white, but it probably should also be, this is blue too. Or is it? No, it's not. These should probably also be in the black and white, with the black and white stuff. This is obviously more like this colorway. Whoopsie, can't make this work. And love this floral. Don't care for this at all. But them's the breaks. Here is a lovely little floral. Here's another little pink one. The rest are sort of orangey and other florals. Geez, I didn't mean to go on that long about that. Put that with the black. So that is all I'm showing you today in terms of fabric. So let's see what else there is. Now I bid, I got this beautiful thing in an auction lot. Now, I like the fabric. I don't have any, these must be hat pins because they're so darn long. So I'll add these things to my various pin cushions and so on. And then I will delicately take this apart. This feels to me like a paper plate, to be honest. Let's just see, in case you have the desire to make yourself one of these contraptions. Now, they are kind of cute. I don't like these plastic flowers, but everything else is pretty darn nice. Oh, and I have to tell you, well, if you saw the video, yeah, you would have, I think, yeah. Follow-up Friday video where I showed you the slow stitching that I did in the car on the way to and from Denver. So, you know that I had a pill bottle with some seed beads. And I knew I had beading needles. Well, the other night, like when I got home and was watching TV at bedtime, I thought, well, why don't I, because I didn't have a needle threader with me, why don't I use my needle threader and add some beads to what I'm doing? Well, because I was doing this in bed, the light was not very good. And I'm wondering, why? Like, I had reached out to Kim because she does a lot of beading. She says, yes, you know, she uses sewing thread. Yes, she uses a needle threader. Blah, blah, blah. So I thought, well, so if one of us has done it, then any of us can do it. You know, that whole philosophy. I could not, for love or money, get the get that thing threaded. Then the next morning, I bring my mess with me here to my office where I've got, you know, I turn on my good lights, and I see that somewhere, somehow through that process, I had literally broken that skinny little thing. I'd broken the eye part off. I mean, it's so thin, you know, it's no wonder. So I thought, well, okay, I've got good light. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I don't know how to use a needle threader. You know, the one with the little fine little wire. Well, I watch a YouTube fragment and see, oh yeah, I was doing it right. I proceeded to break 2 more eyes. So don't ask me what the heck I'm doing wrong, but let's just say I'm down to my last beading needle. So I need one of you, or many of you, to tell me what in the world, like I tried to be very gentle, very slow, very whatever, but, oh, look at it. Oh, and this is broken a bit. This is one of those old-fashioned paper plates. So I will salvage this fabric because it's orange. Save this, get rid of that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so if you know the answer to my dilemma about threading a beading needle, and again, I'm just using sewing thread, not trying to force anything. I'm putting this with my grungy journal stuff. Then please clue me in, because at this rate there won't be enough beading needles in the world to get me to finish that project. I've managed to sew on 6 seed beads. Okay, onward. These beads aren't much good to me, but I wanted the container. So what I'll probably do is put together, well, I don't know what I'll do with them, to be honest. I suppose they do have a purpose of some sort. The thing is, I have much nicer beads to work with. Would I ever get to the point of actually using these? Or maybe these. I do have an upcoming baby journal to do, so, you know, maybe I can use some of these bright colors in there, assuming it's not a boy. But I did want the container, so there's that. I also bid, this mini glue gun was included in one of the lots, crafting lots that I bought. Now, I didn't feel like, you know, plugging it and testing it, but I will. I do have a, you know, a full-sized glue gun that I seldom use, but it's good to also have the mini one. Now, another thing that I bought, I think I paid a ridiculously small amount of money, and I got a lot of ribbon. A lot of ribbon and a lot of ribbon. So I took out the Christmas ones. This represents only a fraction of the red ones, and this is all Offrey brand, or at least those are. And they're all 10 foot, no, 10, what are these? Is it feet or yards? 10 yards long. So I'm thinking I might just bring these to a live sale or, you know, somehow bundle them. I was also going to experiment. I should take a couple of these, maybe 3 of these white spools out and do some dyeing. So if you see some ribbon appearing, you'll know why. Now, and also in here, I just did this to sort of corral it for the purposes of the video. These things will obviously go to where they belong. I didn't finish my thought about the decluttering. So now am I going to remember the woman's name? Kara has teamed up with some sort of a best-selling author with a very simple method for decluttering. And the first thing that woman says is the floor is not a storage system. The floor is not stored. So I thought, isn't that a revelation? And she suggests that a very simple but structured process for tackling the floor. Get rid of that first. And I won't go into that because those videos are everywhere, especially if you are following Kara's series. Anyway, I will be trying that later today. So in the auction, this was part of a lot too, and you know, much of the other stuff was all crap and will be dealt with accordingly. But there are some fibers. I do have a display, a decorative display thing, just with balls of string, various sizes, various weights and colors, and that can go in there. I like this. Now this is like a little paper thing, and it's Gutermann. And of course I like the color, but it's so beautiful. And you know, if all the spools were this color, were this size, look at all the room we'd save. Now, obviously, I don't know how well this would work on a sewing machine spindle thing, but, and this one I thought was a bit of a treasure because it's wooden, and I do have a wooden spool display as well. Now, and this is pearl cotton, of course. This is a bit of yarn. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be. It looks like it may be homemade. It is homemade. But I will either, you know, where there isn't much left, I'll make it my business to use it up quickly. Otherwise, I will add it to my thread stash, which is obviously sorted by color. So for now, we'll just throw this back in here. And you know, I was watching a video this morning from Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Where she was showing some books that she got, and you know, her rationale, as is the same with most of us, is show these items so that we can put them away. This is an odd little bag here. I'm not even sure how much of it is good. Magna fingers. The heck is that? So that's a magnet, but Magna fingers. So this part is sort of like a clothespin or a clip, but I don't get it. Not at all. Okay, a couple of wood pieces, or 3 or so wood pieces. That has a tiny magnet that's been attached. Clearly there's magnetized stuff there. A jingle bell. North side still alive. I don't know what that means. That's a magnet also. This is a cute, somebody, I don't know if somebody painted that. And then there are these panda things. Whoever this was must have liked pandas. Look how cute those are, those little baby ones. So again, not sure what I'll do with that. Laugh and friendship. I do have, you know, a bunch of magnets stuck to my lateral filing cabinet. I like these button ones, although I'd probably remove the... Okay, kids, this is a lesson in magnetism. These are really cute buttons, so I'll probably just remove the magnet, or maybe I'll just add it to something metal here in the office. And oh, and this is a magnet as well. A couple of large paper clips. These are great for obviously holding signatures together. Wrong drawer. When we sew our signatures together. So again, I will put these things where they belong after the video. And this, I think, I will go into a donation thing, simply because I don't have the brain cells left to try to repurpose every little thing that I have acquired. Now this was an auction. Sorry for screaming. I forgot that I had put these pearls in here. And of course they're rolling everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's like they're alive. Look at that. I guess it's static. Another science lesson. Oh, I just heard one hit the floor. Looks like I will be on my hands and knees after all. I'll pick that up after the video. Okay, so clear. This is a cute little dish. Is it crystal? Oh, it might even be crystal. Sure looks like it could be pinwheel crystal. Let's run my, oh, there's a little bit of divot there. But again, these, I didn't realize how small this bowl was, to be honest. Although I suppose there was a measurement grid in the photos. However, these kinds of bowls are really good to have, as long as you don't cover your desk with little cute little bowls, are great to have around to capture and contain things that you maybe don't have too many of and you're determined to use. This, I've shown you this milk glass one before, but the base is so small it would like to tip over, so I should probably put that elsewhere in the house. I'll quickly show you this jewelry. That's just a plain old chain. Now I haven't pulled out my jeweler's loop to see if any of these things are anything of value. But of course, little dangly things like these are perfect, and half the work is done for you. Perfect in using as, to decorate clusters or whatever. There are these solid gold charms. An owl, what is this? An angel with a candle, and I love this one, the little pine cone. Some of these earrings are orphans, which is what you would expect in an auction lot. Now these, you know, kind of awful. I would break the posts off. I don't know, I thought I read somewhere. Oh, see, this guy is missing a dangle, so that has broken off there. Anyway, I believe it was in one of those Etsy emails where they said that the color trends for 2025 were pastels. I like this because of the little Buddha head at the bottom. There's a couple of these earrings, and again, something like this, the only option as far as I am concerned is breaking off the post and maybe just gluing that down as a something or other. Anything dangly, of course, is, like I said, has pretty well done the work for you. Not sure. Oh, is this supposed to be a ring? One of those stacking rings? I suppose so, but of course, unless it's stainless steel, I can't wear it. And as I said, I haven't checked any of the metals. This is kind of cute, I guess. Now, would that be, probably that's supposed to represent a butterfly. So those are kind of cute. Here are these. Now, these, they're relatively flat. So again, breaking off the post, it would be easy enough to glue this down as a focal point. So one of these days, we're going to have to do a video just from that perspective. Again, cute little dangly things. Don't do Valentine's, so that won't be used that way. Now these two, this was a closure on a fancy dancy piece of clothing. So again, like I guess, okay, there's a little, I don't know, can you see there's a little hole there, little ring where I could attach something else. Same thing on this one. So again, it takes a little pondering. A couple of pins. I'll put this with my pins. Again, same sort of thing. You know, pierced earrings, or quite often earrings in general, there aren't a great deal of options, especially if they're studs. Now these were cute. Now, I guess, oh, here's one where the bow has not untied yet. But look at that cute little Eiffel Tower. So, of course, I do have French stuff that I need to use. So those little Eiffel Towers will definitely, I'll add this probably straight to my French box. This is just a little flower with a stone. And then finally this piece, which is a nice heavy chain. I've never seen a closure like, oh, look at that. You can adjust the length. So it's got a little stone, a little dangle, these disky things here. So again, expect to see this stuff again. Oh, and this, my birthday is March. I'm a Pisces. This almost looks like a wine charm thing, so I don't know what this is. Oh, it's elastic. So we'll just throw that in there for the time being. And you can expect, in fact, I'll commit to doing a video just with the contents of this, and we'll see what we can accomplish. Okay, onward. I bid on this only because, and I hate when that happens, there was some overzealous bidding, and I must say I was part of it, on something that, on another lot that I wanted more. But again, now I've since found out that the successful bidder is a hoarder with nary a path to walk through his house. So anyway, but for the grace of God. Now, I don't know, could someone clue me in? Are these things where they've handwritten the name, like Lake Minnewanka, And for the longest time, I didn't know that I thought that was like just a movie name. Was that a John Candy movie? Anyway, when these things have these white descriptors, does that, oh, Banff Springs Hotel. This is iconic. I've stayed in it. Does that mean that does that automatically mean that they're vintage? So I'm not going to obviously show you every photo. Some of these, though, are maybe it's in the next batch. They're all kind of religious. They are from some kind of a sanctuary at Portland, Oregon. So you can, oh, maybe that was just, oh yeah, that's a Christmas Story. So obviously these all came from the same place. Special Mother's Day Annual Mass. Holy cow, look at all those people. Behold thy mother. And of course, no dates. So there's that. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with all these things. But they're darn cute. This is from West Palm Beach, Florida. And look how cute these are. Don't think there's a date on them, but I sort of remember as a kid, you know, when you get your photos sort of mounted in these kind of coil booklets. These are from, I would say, Italy. So it's one of these kinds of things. And you know, when I see that, all I can think of is accordion. I don't know what this one is. Oh, maybe this, oh, okay, I didn't open this one all the way up, but obviously this is, you know, there are lots of potential here for using all these images. And it's clear that whoever owned these things probably had a soft spot for churches, cathedrals, religion, and, you know, European imagery. So these are actual postcards that could be, okay, 1985. Oh, so this is Paris. So why don't I, well, I'll have to separate that. I guess any Paris ones. Or is the, oh, you know what? It could be that the publishing, Avignon, that whoever published this was based in Paris. And then the final one, Verona. And because I love architecture and have a bit of stuff collected for that, I will obviously have to start doing something with some of these things. Okay, keep moving. This is only one of the books that I got in a lot. Oh, and in the same lot were a bunch of little golden books. I pulled this one aside because I know that there are people who work on circus books. This one, you can see, has been well preserved because of this awful plastic cover that somebody made. And it has a number of circus-type illustrations in it. Oh, well, a fair number of elephants, but there are larger ones as well. The page that would have given us the date is long gone. Now, I did lift this ever so gingerly to see if that, but I should probably use a heat gun on there because you can see that the glue wants to, I don't want that mess to be left. I'd rather that that the glue reattach itself to the tape as opposed to being left behind on the paper. So I would imagine that I will bring this to, that I'll either list this or bring it to a sale or something. Now, the thing that I thought was weird, see this hole here? It's like, I don't know, it's like it had suffered a mishap of something, almost like if a person had taken a drill and drilled a hole in those pages, because it's man-made as opposed to little teeth chomping on it. But again, that's not going to affect, what the heck? That's not going to affect the use of this book by whoever. Let's just, for the heck of it, expose the cover. I'll worry about trying to remove that. So we can at least look at how cute that is. I'll worry about the rest of it later. That's about, how many, 50 years worth of grunge on there? Cute, cute, cute. Authorized TV edition. In that batch is our other Warren books, and I think there was at least one Bobbsey Twins there. Okay, so these 8 little golden books were part of the same book lot. Now, whoever owned these, I guess, took it upon themselves to add some, it's not wide enough to be packing tape, but some sort of a wider tape to help hold things together. So you see they've done it there as well. Now, I'm no little golden book expert. Carol is, Crinkle Path, but I mean, I recognize cute when I see it. So the original date on this one is 1957. This was printed in 1974, which in itself is a long time ago. You know, 50 years ago. But look how sweet, and I'm not even a cat person, but look at how sweet this is. So there's that one. Then there's Bullwinkle. Again with the tape. This is 62, but 75. Bullwinkle. And the books themselves, you know, there's obviously wear on the cover, but the contents are pretty darn good. Winnie the Pooh. This one has not been taped. Winnie the Pooh. 65 and 77. So, you know, for people who are doing Pooh journals, that might be an attractive option. This one, look at that, reduced to 78 cents. Peter Pan, this one seems to be in great shape. 89. This might be the newest one of the batch. Again, really nice condition inside. Robin Hood. Uh, 73. Now, I know that there are at least a couple of these I want to keep for myself, but the others are probably up for grabs. Okay, this one, again, happens to be a kitten book, but 1942, 1972. So, you know, condition-wise, oh, something, there must have been tape there. Condition-wise, it's still pretty good, except for that tape business, and it would be pretty easy to fussy cut these. Little Red Hen. Now, this was a book, obviously, that my kids had. Of course, didn't have the foresight to keep it. 1954, 1980. And, of course, is this not the perfect philosophy of life? So, sentimental attachment to that one. And then I must have more of these, unless I sold them, I can't remember. 58 and 73. So, I mean, I got them for a good price, so that always makes a person feel better. Okay, keep going. Now, I think most of us encounter these sorts of albums often. I see there's a little damage there, but that's okay. Now, of course, none of us would ever think of using this as a photo album. However, this is in perfect condition, other than that little damage to this one skeleton leaf. Lovely piece of ribbon. And look at how wide that spine is. That's got to be at least 2 inches. And it would be so easy to remove this whole block, and you've got a ready-made cover that is, well, what size is it? You know, sometimes I gravitate, whoops, wrong, too short a ruler. I gravitate to books that are not traditional sizes and shapes. But of course, then that creates some problems in terms of, you know, pages. So let's just see what a page in here, what size it is. So it's 8.5, 8 3/8 by, okay, so with a lot of cutting or folding, a person could make normal size pages work in there. So I was happy to get this, and let's just say it's not my first one. Okay, this is a little bit weird. Let me just snip off that tag. It is obviously intended for, I don't know, scarves. Maybe scarves, even though those openings aren't that big. But I kind of like these sorts of organizational tools because a person could use these circles, I see some are bigger than others, to control one's strips, fabric strips, you know, either before or after they're sewn into ruffles. That was kind of the first thing that came to me. But of course, I'm sure it's probably not the only use that I have that a person could have. For those people who have maybe less ribbon than I do, this could probably also be a ribbon storage thing, or seam binding, or whatever. So, and I did test that this thing turns, because sometimes if we're hooking, like I have in my wall-to-wall closet here, I do have some wire racking, you know, sort of that closet system. And to be able to hook this on in either direction, of course, is works better than if this hook part was fixed in place, because then you can kind of only use it one way. I grabbed this because, well, it looked interesting for one thing. I haven't really opened it up to see exactly what this is. Now it says New York Times, collection of crossword puzzles, puzzles from every year since 1942, including the first New York Times crossword puzzle, copyright 2014. So, what exactly is this? Now, why? Okay, so 1942, 1943. And it's got sections, so it's like an actual newspaper. Oh, here's a stiffener. Oh, and look, even answers. Of course, you can't, this whole thing doesn't really fit in my space here, but you can see that there are a lot of possibilities for reusing, oops, almost hit you, for reusing or for using these papers. So I guess to make this fit into some kind of something, you know, reasonable in size. I don't know, can you see that this is like reduced? Okay, that's section 1. And of course there are some ads here. We don't know necessarily. Okay, so this is 1960. This particular page, 1960. Okay, so here's section 2. Small crossword. I can't see it. Way over here in the bottom corner is a small crossword. Even these little answer ones are so sweet. So this is the book section of the paper. I'm not going to look at every little thing. So unlike today's newspapers, this has 4 sections. Now, if that was... okay. I'll stop there. I'm sure you'll see this surface at some point with some projects. I just thought it was kind of really cool. And as always, I would like you in the comments to tell me kind of your favorites, or if you've got any bright ideas about what to use things on. This is just a bunch of black file folders. So again, I didn't need file folders, but their condition is great. I just grabbed a bunch, and we know that this could be a very affordable way to sort of mat, to add a black mat to photos or images or whatever. Boy, if this thing ever decided to collapse, they'll find my body in the rubble. Now this obviously came from Dollarama, but I gravitated to it. Let's remove this. Now I suppose this could be reused as a book cover, although it is 13 by 9. With this very, you know, well-constructed opening here. So that could be a thing. Or if a person wanted to, you know, maybe ask a husband to cut this down to, you know, I don't know, 11.5 tall or something, that would make it a little more, you know, more in line with the proportions we typically use. So I will add this to where I keep my similar type things. But look at this, 30 designs and 8 metallic pencils. Of course, the pencils are long gone. But look at how beautiful these are. Now, did I see some coloring back here? Somebody started doing something there. That's a Christmas. Oh, no, that's a cardinal. But considering, like, to me, I don't know how this looks to you, but to me, it looks coppery. So for a kid like me who loves the copper look at those houses. I guess if I held it this way, you wouldn't have to stand. You wouldn't have to lie down to watch this video. But look how beautiful these are. And again, you know, I am drawn to a well, don't care about lighthouses, but I am drawn to these intricate designs more so than something like that. Although I am trying to love everything. Tulips. Terry loves tulips. Lion. And you know, so on and so on. So I was happy about that. Now, typically, okay, just to let you know what I would do with this. Let's see, overall size is roughly 11.5 by 8.25. So what I would do is I would rip each of these out. Easier, I mean, probably easier than I thought. And pre-fold them into signatures and add them to my signature, where I keep those in a filing cabinet. Here's a little damage. Now, of course, some of them will make more sense vertically than horizontally, like this assortment of plants here, or this bird. So I would probably fold these this way for a tall skinny. But that is how I would manage these, because otherwise, if I just put this somewhere, like maybe with my coloring books, I may never see it again, or never be inspired to use it sooner rather than later. Now these, if you have seen these sorts of journals, see, it needs a little white peruno. If you have seen these journals at, well, in our case in Canada, at Indigo or Chapters, then you know that they are very expensive. And frankly, I would never pay that price. However, let's just wipe the whole surface. When I see them at a thrift store, unless they're a stupid price, I am inclined to pick them up, even if someone has mutilated it like that. Number one, nothing but lined papers, not signatures. It remind you, it looks like it. Why don't I just cut this baby out right now? Hopefully this knife isn't too dull. For those of us that make books, this sort of thing is absolutely a no-brainer, because we get a hunk, a sizable hunk of lined paper. It is easy enough to cover this up with another paper or fabric. We have actually a reinforced, decent width spine there right off the bat. Of course, I would neaten this up with scissors. A magnetic closure built in. Like, could that have been any easier? And let's just see, are these, oh, and these are sewn in. Bonus. Let me find the center for signature here. So, of course, all we do there, well, looks like it's right. Well, let's pick one that's not so messy. All we do, of course, is snip the threads, and we've got these beautiful lined pages in signature format, like as folios. Gently. So again, this is, whoopsie, this is the perfect job for when you're watching videos. Whoops, why is this one? Oh, maybe this was where, maybe it's the end of the signature, so there's a bit of glue there. But this is the kind of busy work that we can do when maybe we're not feeling that inspired, or we're watching, you know, YouTube or Netflix or whatever, And I have to say, I have been trying to check up on what my favorite channels have been doing. So if I haven't gotten to you yet, if you're a friend and a YouTuber, I am getting back into that routine of watching and commenting, because as a YouTuber myself, I know that watch hours and comments are critical to our growth and our success. Anyway, you don't need to watch me do that. But I just want you to keep an eye peeled for these sorts of deals that not only save you time, but money. So I'll continue to do that on my own time. Okay, what is this? Oh, I've never done this diamond stuff. Oh, it's a magnetic thing. And I haven't tried it, so I should probably stop acquiring these until I try it. I don't see why this can't be used as a journal cover. I'm hoping, maybe you can tell me if you've done it, like, this seems pretty darn resilient to me. Or the other thing a person could do is, and it's so easy because it's like rows and columns, cut this into strips and use it as page edging. How tall is this anyway? 9 3/4. And what is it this way? 9 3/4. So yeah, I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to cut this baby up, or we're going to make journal covers, or both. So watch for that. I found 3 of these, and I thought they were pretty cute. They're obviously heavier card. 6 3. What is that? 6 3/4 by 8. And I think, can I be sure about that? I'm just holding it up to the light. I can't be exactly sure that if I cut this man out, that would line up perfectly with lock. A person could also cut it into thirds and use it as belly bands, or cut them up individually and use them in pockets or as tabs, or whatever a person might need in a whimsical childlike journal. What else have we got here? I just picked this bag of puzzle pieces up because I thought this was a pretty good size. I like using, why are they all marked with 8s? I like using puzzle pieces because I think they're so, number one, there are a few motifs that I like. I like locks and keys. I like puzzle pieces because I think they can easily be used as a metaphor for life. Finding putting the puzzle pieces together. Unlocking something. Or this is the key to wisdom or to knowledge. Now, contrast this size to this size. I found 3 of these. Now, in the past, of course, the bigger the piece is, the easier it is to work with in terms of getting into nooks and crannies. But this is a size that would be sufficient, 5.5 roughly, by 4 and a bit, by 4. This could easily be decorated and used as a journal topper. Just 3 of those. So there's that. Oh, not quite sure. Let me cut into this bag. This is an abacus. Now again, I'm going to call him a son-in-law, and this is wood. My son-in-law is a CPA, chartered professional accountant, partner in an accounting firm, and I believe that people, that if you work for yourself, although he is a partner, that, you know, all your efforts, your success is a result of your own effort. And obviously most of us work harder for ourselves than we do for other people, blah, blah, blah. So one day I keep encouraging him to start his own firm. Not sure that's going to happen, but it's a belief system I have. Anyway, one of the names I suggested was abacus, because, you know, just like AAA or AA or A something, you would appear first. Well, I guess back when things were alphabetical, like yellow pages and phone books and so on, alphabetical was an advantage. My husband is fond of saying, with a last name like Anaka, A-N-A-K-A, my husband is fond of saying that he thinks that the call to the buffet should be alphabetical. My maiden name began with a T, so I've moved up several notches in the alphabet. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll decide if I want to give this to him or if I want this to just, I don't know how an abacus works at all. No desire to learn either. But I think this would also make a cute conversation piece just here in my studio. And this box is rather cute as well. So there's that. Okay, we're getting to the bottom here. Now when you're paying by the pound, a big heavy thing like this is, you know, adds up. However, I did peek inside, and it's Zebra brand, and I think that is a common name or popular name for labels. Now, this has obviously been around because there is some discoloration around each of the labels, and I wonder how far that goes. The first 3 miles have these marks on them. Now, I don't know, when it's on a roll like this, it probably means that there is a Zebra machine out there that would print these labels. But I also know that we don't need to have the machine in order to take advantage of this. Let's just share this off here. Get rid of these kind of worst looking ones. Now there's a bit of, it's just for the heck of it. Reach for a stamp pad. Okay, this is distressed oxide. That works quite well on there. So we know that there are lots of, we can make our own stickers essentially by stamping on them, by doing, again, multimedia type work on there. And I don't think it's going to lift. Let's just see. Oh, now that's a wipe, so obviously it's lifting. But if I had something, if this is a Kleenex. Now it's lifting slightly, but look at how nicely a person can blend that too. So I would say if I'm collecting stuff to send you in Happy Mail, don't be surprised if you get some of this. Again, we can only imagine how many are on here. I might have to throw this into Brenda's bag because she likes grunge. Plus a whole bunch of white ones, of course. Okay, keep going. Speaking of Brenda, now I have no idea what this is because I just found this. It's like a piece of, it says Midwest gift, make every day a holiday, 2023. And it's got mushrooms on them. Of course, she loves mushrooms. And then I found this piece, which is the same sort of thing now. Oh! Is this supposed to be a phone holder? I can't try my phone because... Brenda, I think this is going in your box. I mean, in where I'm collecting stuff for you. You lucky girl, you. I kind of thought that it might... I don't know. I guess phone holder makes more sense. Okay, so you can see that I was keeping other people in mind as I was doing this. Okay, this is the end, my people. If you're still here, thank you for hanging in. I just bought this and it'll end up in my kitchen. Now, I have had this probably identical thing in the past. It's a little magnetic box, which of course we like that. But in here are all these, I'll tell you in a moment if these are exactly the same cards that I've had. Yes, sir. Someone colored on that one. But these can go in my tea. And of course, the back is solid. So these are things, oh dear. These are things that can be cut. Oh, there are a few that have been kind of, what shall we say, ruined. Although I'm putting these aside, but obviously I could cover that up and these could be used in a peacock journal. But there are still plenty here that are untouched. So, yeah, that's why I grabbed this. Oh dear, that owl. And a bunny, a wee little bunny. Angela, did I send you some squirrels? Okay. And of course, this thing in itself has some promise. Would this not, like, turn this into a spine? I would have to carefully, maybe this would just be glued back together because I wouldn't want to interfere with the integrity of this thing because that's where the magnet is embedded. But this side could easily be carefully removed and replaced with just a normal, oh, you know what? No, I need to rethink this because if I'm thinking that that's the width of the spine, that thing cannot stay there. Maybe that's why I haven't done it yet because I didn't work out the bugs of the design. Okay, these things are always good to have. Great Canadian Dollar Store. Again, I should be using them. I like this little box. Apparently, I don't know, it had lavender soap in it. It's nice and clean, and you know what's not to love about this, just from a decorative perspective. And it smells good, which in our business is always a plus when there's a lot of stuff that doesn't smell good. And then finally, I already put the box aside. This money And these cards came from a book, from a game called Diva Girl. So this is, I guess, official currency. So I will, oh yeah, I do have 3 elastic. I will put this with my Celebration of Women journals. And look at these things. They're like coasters in a sense, but they're, I guess, game cards. Really cute ladies on the top. And then Dress to Impress, Spa Day, diamond earrings, roses, purses. Like, are these things not just perfect for my projects? So they could be just stuck into pockets, or they could be a tuck spot on a page. Nail polish, convertible, sexy slippers. Ooh, I don't know, isn't this how you walk around the house at night? Chocolates, tropical getaway, manicure, red lipstick, ooh, diamond ring, and more and more and more. Shopping spree. I guess I thought there were duplicates, but apparently they're all different. So I am going to have a ball with these, let me tell you. And my lovelies, I don't know how long we've been at this, but you can see that I have acquired several, oh, one last thing, pushed it off to the side. I have acquired several things to either share. Okay, it says insects and small critters, 36 flashcards. This, I like breaking down these boxes and turning them into journal covers. Now, typically, I'll tell you what I do and what I intend to start doing from now on. First of all, this part will get trimmed. What I would typically do is look for the side that has the fold, but then that means that I can't use that as the cover because our books open this way as opposed to this way. So, in this case, I'm going to now, from now on, where it makes sense to do so, cut this there. And I have the added benefit of a doubled up spine here. Let's just quickly, because I think sometimes the benefit to viewers is, well, the vicarious appeal. What is going on under here? Sorry. The vicarious appeal of seeing what someone else has scored and thinking, I never see that in my area. But I think the bonus is when you actually see some ideas for using these items. Because it's one thing to, we hope that that is straight enough that it actually, how would a okay, how tall is this anyway? Whoa! So sorry. Smacked you in the face with my ruler. We know that a page, if we tear it lengthwise, is 5.5 tall. Now this is essentially 5, but I don't want this raggedy, frayed, worn thing. So at this point, I'm just probably going to clear that butterfly wing and know that I'm going to have to obviously you know, cut papers to fit. Let's get this off here. That didn't, lets me just check and see if this is actually square. No, it didn't cut it square. Let's take a hair off here again. can take a hair. Ooh, not much. See, it kind of binds a bit where it's doubled up. Now, at this point, I would measure this to the fold. So it's 3 3/16. Find a pencil. And I want, obviously, this cover. Now, I can't measure up to there. I have to measure where the fold is. So 3 3/16 would be right there. Well, I better get rid of this first. Okay, that's the bottom. Let's do it this way. Now, of course, I can't use that as my guide there, so I'm using... It's like you don't know how to use a paper cutter. For heaven's sakes, why am I explaining every little thing? Okay, this would make it 4 3/4 tall. Maybe just for a little, let's make it 4 1/2 just for the heck of it. Just because we can. Ugh. Now, is my mark still there? Yes, it is. Now that I have a straight edge there, I can hopefully line my blade up with that mark. Presto. So this is how I much prefer to store something and or get right to it and make use of it. Now, of course, I do, because I don't want to, lose the potential of something like that box. I have far too many of these things. But hey, 2025 is the day we get on this stuff. Okay, so that's the box. Now, what do the contents? Oh, there's a fold in that one. Praying mantis, centipede. Now, why? Now, these ones that have a bend in them might end up having to be a signature page. I know some people are repulsed. The rest of these look fine, so that's good. Only a couple that are bent. I don't like ants. People are sometimes repulsed by insects, but honestly, they are part of our ecosystem. And most of them, I think, have, well, maybe not hornets. Oh, maybe not cockroaches. Okay, maybe I should just stop talking. I'm sort of backing myself into a corner here. Okay, we can agree on a ladybug, right? Oh, anyway, maybe I'm creeping myself out here. Okay, guys, that is what I have to show you. And I will now be putting these things away and or making a pile with the intention of a follow-up video showing how I actually intend to use it and getting right on that. So thank you for joining me. I asked you about 100 years ago when this video started, I asked you if you knew how to thread a beading needle without breaking the eye off the needle itself. So please tell me that. And secondarily, tell me what you like the most, what you would like to see dealt with in a future video, and so on and so on. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.